conference win, and it's hard to believe we're nearing the halfway point of the conference season.
Byron Cook, a 5'11 freshman, being introduced to this crowd, as is James Lane. Lane, the 6'6 senior. He is out of Cape Girardeau. Robbie Burton out of St. John's Antigua, the 6'7 junior in the starting lineup. Andre Scott. Andre, a 6'2 sophomore. And, of course, we mentioned Brad Hamilton, a 6'2 senior. Joe, do a good job tonight. Courtney Campbell, one of our students, is sitting between us, and I always brag what a good job we do, so we better be on our toes tonight.
I've got to know Courtney. She seems like a neat young lady, and she said, I tried to tell her you weren't very good as a teacher, but she said you're pretty good. So,
she has to say
that.
She
would not listen to me at all.
She also helped live stream the first game tonight. So we're ready to go, the Vikings and the Wildcats. The Wildcats in their dark blue uniforms with a black trim. White numerals, Wildcats across the back, and the Vikings, as usual, in their home gray, purple numerals with the orange trim. Big night of basketball. Joe, you want to just give you an idea. We'll do this when we get a chance, but anything can happen. Peru State women beat Mid-America tonight, 72-70.
You're kidding me.
No. At least that's what I have on the Heart of America.
Was that at Peru State?
At Peru, and I have that on the Heart of America Conference website. So
wow.
If they don't change that score, that is a huge upset.
Leave it up there.
Vikings get the tip to control against the man-to-man defense. Here's Cook. Cook gives it off to Andre Scott. Top of the key to work around to Hamilton. Hamilton works it underneath. Here's Rob. Jump hook. Good. Vikings take the lead. Boy, that was nice. Get it right inside to Rob Burton on the first pass of the game.
That's several times Robbie's drawing first blood for the Vikes. That's good to see him get the ball into the big man. Vikings have a size advantage.
JoJo Graham fires the ball underneath to Christian Jones. Jones, the 6'6 junior, scores. Got away from Burton. We're tied at 2. Cook, baseline to Hamilton. Hamilton goes baseline, gives it off to Rob. He'll try the outside shot and hit it. It's a 2. Burton 2 for 2, and the Vikes are up 4-2.
Robbie says, I'm going to break the school scoring record here tonight.
Give it to me every time. Johnny Mills with the basketball, hands it off to Marquez Poole. Poole works it baseline to Trayvon Mitchell. Long shot, won't go. Long rebound comes down to James Lane. Lane gives it off to Hamilton. Andre off to Cook. Cook stops outside the free throw line, gives it off to Andre Scott. His shot will not go down, and the rebound is pulled down by Christian Jones. Mills looks back door, nothing open. Gives it back to Mills. Mills starts to drive right side, and going to be a foul called. And it looks like it's going to be on Andre Scott, his first, and that's the first foul of the ball game on the Vikings.
Culver looks like they're sporting new uniforms here. And this team, Ken's, made a pretty deep run in the national playoffs the last 2 years. In fact, Coach Schrader said in the pregame, when I talked to him off the record, he said, I thought we were good enough to win it both years. So he's really turned this program around.
Yes, he has. Marquez Poole the inbound, and he gets it to Trayvon Mitchell. Mitchell at the top of the circle now. Swings it around to the left side and gives it to Graham. Here's a baseline fadeaway that won't go down. Fight for the rebound, and it comes away to the Vikings as they get it to Andre Scott. Andre into the forecourt, and he'll leave it for Brad Hamilton. Hamilton round a screen, gives it off to Cook. Cook back to Hamilton. Hamilton screen from Lane to Andre. Back to Hamilton. Almost pulled the trigger on a long three. Didn't quite take the shot. Didn't like it. Now Cook pounds with the left hand, drives in the lane, off to James Lane. He has the shot knocked away. He was going up for the layup, and Mitchell with a rebound. Now it's taken away from him. He gathers it again in the backcourt. Vikings swarm, and that's going to be a push.
Timeout. I think Culver Stockton called a timeout.
Wow, Mitchell was in some trouble as the Vikings were double teaming. 4-2, 17:31 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, you can see this is going to be another fast-paced game. Both these teams trying to get the ball up and down the floor as quickly as they can, and it's going to be a very athletic game, a very fun game to watch, I think.
Vikings got the 4 points from Robbie Burton, and Christian Jones has a couple. Good crowd on hand tonight. Of course, classes started on Tuesday, and big crowd is here tonight. to watch this game.
When you got to feel like
game.
the Vikings, still a lot of season left, but this is an important game for them to win because we've got two very tough road trips coming up. A trip to Benedictine on Saturday, then a trip down into Springfield to take on the league leader Evangel. Would like to go into that Evangel game with 2 more wins under our belt.
Really
before
be
that.
sweet. Big road trip coming up on Saturday. But let's get this one here. Trayvon Mitchell will inbound the ball. You don't know what you give this Culver team. They could score 100 tonight, or Vikings may beat them by 15. You just don't know. They have some talent, though. Mitchell, he's open outside the three-point line. Rattles that one in and out. Cook had his hand on it but couldn't come up with a rebound. Boy, Mitchell was wide open for that three-point attempt.
Yeah, had a good look, had his feet set. The ball just pinballed out on him, but you're getting some good shots right now.
Mitchell shoots about 37% from beyond the arc. Now the Vikings with a steal on the inbounds play by the Wildcats, and Valley with it. Andre Scott working to his right, now gives it off to Lane. Out front to Cook. Cook, Rafi, top of the key, holds it high over his head, puts it on the floor. Back to Cook. Cook falls down, keeps the dribble alive, however, and gives it off to Hamilton. Back to Cook, down to 11 on the shot clock. Lane outside the three-point line. Hamilton's open for 3, got it. Boy, he comes off a screen like that, Joe. He is deadly.
Vikings very patient on offense that time. Took their time, ran the offense, got a good pick. Brad Hamilton a good look, and he drained it.
JoJo Graham gives it inside to Jones. Jones wheels to the bucket with left hand, blocked by Burton. There's a fight for the ball, and Jones comes away with it. Off to Graham. Kicks it back into the corner. Another 3 ball on the way. This one's good by Marquez Poole, and it's 7-5.
I think they're going to know Robbie Burton's around in the middle of the lane tonight. He got up and rejected that one big time.
Cook at the top of the key. 16 minutes to go in the first half. They leave it off now to Andre Scott. Andre will back away. Culver stays in a man-to-man defense. Lane will try a 3. You bet. James Lane from downtown, and it's 10-5. Valley's doubled the score on the Wildcats.
Good to see the big guys shoot the ball outside, and that's exactly what James Lane did that time.
Poole open for a 15-footer. Too strong. Rebound James Lane off to Andre Scott. Races down court. Flips it up with the right hand and scores. And a timeout by Jack Schrader as Andre Scott gets the bucket. He took it right at JoJo Graham. 12-5, Valley off to Joe, a much better start than they did Saturday.
Well, I think you're seeing the team play with much more intensity. Not that they didn't play hard last week, but they've upped their level a notch here tonight and really off to a great start. And that's what you've got to do at home, especially when you've got a good crowd. You've got to give that crowd a reason to get into the game. And boy, this Viking team playing very well, and you can kind of feel the electricity, the energy in here right now.
12-5, Valley with the lead. Jack Schrader jumped off that bench, and Jack, a 1975 graduate of Arizona State, played some college ball there.
How tall is Jack? He's pretty good size.
I think about 6'8", 6'9".
Pretty good size. I don't think I'd want to guard him one-on-one.
Played some overseas ball. That's where he met his wife when he was playing ball in Spain. Lives in La Plata, Missouri now, and coaches at Culver Stockton. Longtime coach at Truman in the MIAA. Dennis Hogan into the game during that timeout. Gives it off to Graham. Now back it comes to Poole. Marquez to Hogan. There's a lob underneath, and Lane anticipates the pass and takes it away. They were trying to get it to Jones. Cook races into the forecourt. Hamilton for a long 3. You bet. Hamilton buries his second 3. The Vikings have 3 3-point field goals, and they're up by 10.
Yeah, a good, nice shot. Hamilton had a chance. Had to release it fairly quickly that time, but did have time to get his feet set and drained. He's 2 out of 2 from out there.
Vikes playing some zone. They get it inside, and Jones misses the shot. Boy, he missed an easy one there. Rebound James Lane. No look pass. Hickey in the corner for another 3. This one rims it out. Lane got a hand on it, couldn't come down with it. Poole the other way. They'll race down the right side. Layup off the glass and good by JoJo Graham.
JoJo Graham averaging over 15 points a game. He's their leading scorer.
Here's Hickey, comes down, leans in, scores, and is fouled. How about the freshman from Fort Worth? Went out, scored, and was fouled.
And that's the way you answer a bucket by the other team. You get the ball down quickly and take it the other way and put it in, and that's exactly what Kyle Hickey did. He got a quick pass, went the length of the floor, kissed it off the glass, and a chance for a 3-point play right now.
The offensive hero of Saturday's comeback, Brody Thompson checks in. He had a couple of big threes. He's in for Cook. And Joe Williams is in.
What a job that Valley bench did, the entire bench. Bowling, Hickey was a part of that. Fletcher came in, hit some big free throws. Joe Williams, you go right down the line.
Hickey completes the three-point play, 18-7, Valley by 11. Their largest lead. Trayvon Mitchell back into the contest. Now almost another steal. Joyce, I poked my head into the coach's office yesterday, and Joe Williams was sitting on the couch, and I looked at him and I said, Coach Lance, Joe All and I have a little contest going on. How many fouls per second Joe Williams can pick up? Joe just looked at me with a big grin on his face.
We call him instant contact.
But he hasn't picked one up yet, and he's been in a little longer than I thought he would be. Clay Crouch into the ball game now for the Wildcats. As Jack Schrader going to his bench. Jack also brings in Ituria. Now here's Joe Williams as he takes it away. Long three by Hamilton. That was deep. Missed it. But the rebound, James Lane. And, you know, when Hamilton takes one from out there, no one gets upset. He can make that shot.
Oh, that's in his range, well within his range.
High post pass to James Lane. Turns, faces the bucket. Puts it on the floor. Fakes the shot. Back to Hamilton. Hamilton being guarded by Crouch. Puts the ball between his legs. Drives in the lane. Behind the back with it. Lost it out of bounds. And it will be Culver ball. Hamilton trying to go behind the back to get away from Crouch and turned it over. He'll check out. Andre Scott is in.
And the thing we've talked about several times, a lot of people don't realize, Brad Hamilton, not only a good shooter, he's a very good passer. He's also very good at penetrating down the lane.
18-7 Valley. As Ituria brings the ball across the timeline. He is from Spain. Point guard. Gives it off out front for Mitchell.
Likes in that zone defense.
Mitchell, top of the key, fadeaway three. Got it. Wow, that's a nice shot by Trayvon Mitchell. His first bucket, 18-10.
I'm not sure any lead will be safe against this team. They're very athletic and they have some very good shooters. Now Crouch reaches around. Brody Thompson fouls him right across the midcourt line.
So that is the second foul.
That's Ituria, Ituria.
Joe Williams is out, and you know what? He didn't pick up a foul, he's gonna prove me wrong tonight.
We still call him instant contact.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a really good bench player. Brody Thompson between the circles. Ituria has that defensive assignment. Brody works it to the right side, looks underneath. Nothing there. Hickey now. Jordan Bowling's into the contest. Bowling pounds that basketball, looks in there for Bowling. Bowling backs his way in, goes up with a shot, missed it. Rebound comes down to Rav Burton, and he's fouled as he tries to put it back up. He'll shoot two.
I believe that foul is going to come on Randawa. Nope, no, they called instead on Hogan.
Hogan picks up the foul. Randawa, Turlock, California in the ball game, number 33. Free throw by Rav is good. He has 5 points in the early going.
You know, the Vikings on offense, last down the floor, time down the floor, yelling Omaha. That's an old Peyton Manning play, isn't it?
Yeah.
I see John Elway said Peyton's going to be his man again next year.
But a new coaching staff in Denver. They're getting rid of about everybody. How about Rav Burton? Knocks down a couple of free throws. Has 6 points. Vikes up by 10. 12:55 to go in the half. Ituria leaves it off for Mitchell. Mitchell at the top of the key, guarded by Thompson. The Vikes are switching back in defense, still playing a zone. They come out in the, Brody comes out of the point of that zone, and now I think Crouch stepped on the sideline at the end of the Viking bench. So the ball comes back to Valley, leading by 10, 20-10 with 12:41 to go first half. We'll have the women's scores for the next break, and again, if they didn't change it, a big upset tonight in Peru, Nebraska. Peru knocked off Mid-America Nazarene.
I bet that place is rocking tonight.
Oh, boy. Here's Rav Burton. Little jump hook off the glass from the right side. Rav now has 8, and the Vikes are up by a dozen.
Ravi, I'm going for the record, Burton.
He is really off to a great start in this one. Here's the shot, top of the key. A forced shot by Mitchell. Ball goes out. Last touch by one of the Wildcats, and I think it was Dennis Hogan. It was.
You know, it might not be humanly possible, but if you could get Ravi Burton to play all the time with the energy that he plays with a good part of the time, he would be a phenomenal ball player. When he's on and when he's moving, he's as tough as anybody around.
A timeout on the floor. That gives us a chance to talk about those scores on the women's side tonight. And yep, they haven't changed it yet. They show Peru over 12th ranked Mid-America Nazarene 72-70. That's the big one. Benedictine knocked off Graceland 87-73. Of course, Valley won tonight 84-76. It was Central Methodist over Evangel in Fayette 80-51.
Yeah, Central sounds like they're starting to come around now.
And Baker defeated Avila in Baldwin City 66-45. So those are the women's scores from tonight.
Well, so that puts Benedictine into a first-place tie with Mid-America, and we'll play the Ravens on their floor on Saturday afternoon. So, hey, if Peru, why not us?
Well, what I saw with Mid-America and what I saw with Peru, I just still can't believe that score.
Well, you remember last year, Mid-America went up to Culver Stockton and got beat by the Culver Stockton women up there about the same time of the year.
Maybe half the girls forgot to come back on time. I don't know, but oh well. Cook's back into the game. Jake Fletcher's in the game.
Jake had some big free throws the other day.
Yes, he did. Here's Rob. Rob going one-on-one. He throws one up and he's fouled. Boy, that was a great play by Burton. He drew the contact from Mitchell and just threw it up in the basket, and it almost went in at the front of the rim.
Well, there again, Robbie recognized contact. He would see that he was going to get hit, so he went ahead and flipped it up so it would be a shooting foul. So good recognition by him.
22-10 Valley with 11:59 to go in the first half. Here's the first one by Burton. He's 3 for 3 from the line. Already has 9 points.
If you remember last Thursday against Avila, Robbie had, I think, 27 points. He was like 11 of 12 from the free throw line. So he's been shooting free throws very well lately.
A great job from the line, and he knocks that one down. Already 10 points for Ravi Burton. 24-10. Valley with the lead. Culver with a basketball. Again, the Vikings chasing all over the court. They really get after defensively. They draw it in the middle. Ball was tipped away, but it comes baseline. Now they'll skip it back out. It's long three, and that one is good by Ituria. So Ituria hits a triple. Young man from Spain to make it 24-13. Fletcher off to the right wing to Cook. Cook around the screen by Bowling. Gives it back to Hamilton. Underneath the Bowling. Turns to the basket. Someone stripped the ball as he went up for the shot, and then he reached down, got a hand on it, and it went out of bounds. Turnover. The ball will belong to Culver.
Saying nobody works any harder under the basket than Jordan Bowling, the senior out of Crane. That time somebody got a hand on it, knocked it away from him. Boy, Jordan always moving, playing 100%. He's going to come out right now. James Lane steps back into the Viking lineup.
24-13, Valley by 11. Their biggest lead has been 14, and that was cut into by Ituria's last three-pointer. Vikings putting some pressure on the backcourt. Ituria uses a right arm to push off Fletcher and get the ball into the forecourt. Hands it off to Mitchell, back to Ituria. Vikings now settle back into a man-to-man. They're switching defenses about every time down court. Crouch off to Ituria. Ituria right in front of Chad Ladd. Cut off by Cook. Now gives it back out. Here's a left-handed shot. No good. Taken by Hogan. And the Vikings get the rebound. James Lane. Back to Fletcher. Down to 10:48 half. Top of the key. Three on the way. High off the back of the iron and up into the guide wires by the shot clock. Boy, we've seen that a lot lately. And a turnover. Ball comes back to Culver.
Yeah, James Lane, a good look that time. Got his feet set, just banged it off the back of the rim. James, a good three-point shooter. He shot one, knocked one down not that long ago.
Ituria gives it to Crouch. Crouch right in front of us, back to Ituria. They'll swing it to the right side. Boy, the Vikes are switching defense about every possession. Now, Lane steps around, knocks it away. Pass intended for Jones. Here come the Vikings again. Off to Andre Scott. Andre at the top of the key. Stops there, almost drug that pivot foot, but is able to keep it on the floor. Cook around the screen, drives left side all the way to the basket, flips it up, won't go. Lane tips, no good. Burton offensive rebound and back in by Ravi Burton, who now has a dozen of the Vikings' 26 points.
Robbie just having his way on the inside, just controlling the paint right now.
Long three, no good. Rebound pulled down by Andre Scott. He races down, off to Hamilton for three, good! And the Vikings, that's the third triple by Brad Hamilton. The Vikings all of a sudden are up by 16, 29-13, 9:51 to go in the half.
Well,
wow.
What a job. 29 points so far. You know, we're looking at on pace for a plus 50-point half. So Vikings really, and we've seen them a little bit sluggish in the first half of some of the games, but boy, not so tonight. They've come out with a lot of intensity on both ends of the floor and moving the ball well on offense, really helping out on defense, and just need to keep this karma going right now.
Hamilton now has 9 points. He averages 12.7 a game from beyond the three-point circle, 37% shooter. Joe, I think that percentage will go up because you remember early in the year he really struggled in some games, but he's getting that form back now.
We need to draw a 4-point line out there for Brad Hamilton. A lot of his shots should be 4, maybe 5 points. You know, the legendary coach Bud Lathrop, I guess Bud didn't like the three-point shot. He coached for years at Raytown South, and he says, you know, if we got a 3-point line, let's have a 4-point line, a 5-point line, a 6-point line. Hit one from midcourt, game's over.
Well, it really has changed the game, the three-point shot. That and the shot clock in college ball really changed this game. 9:50 to go, 29-13, Valley by 16. Ball belongs to the Wildcats after that timeout.
Don't want to let down here. Want to keep the intensity up.
Keep that pedal down. Vikes in a zone in this possession. They're moving all over. And here's a travel. Hogan, frustrated, traveled. I like the way the Vikings are switching defenses, Joe. They really have Culver confused.
Well, sometimes when you switch defenses, you confuse yourself. Not the case with the Vikings. They seem to be well focused. They're on top of things. They know what's happening, and have really been effective in that switching defense.
Joe Williams back into the game in the lane. He gets away from Hogan and scores a layup. That's 5 now for Lane. The Vikings up by 18 here in the first half.
Yeah, really playing well right now. Back in the zone again.
Now they bring it back out to Ituria. Ituria swings it to the left side to Graham. Now they'll work it to the right side. Get it underneath to Hogan. That time he got inside that zone. Found the dead spot in the zone and got the layup, 31-15. 8:53 left in the first half. Vikings have played an exceptional first half through the first 11 and a half minutes. Andre just inside the three-point line. A little strong rebound. James Lane. Back out it comes to Hamilton. The Vikes reset the offense. Get a fresh shot clock. High post, Joe Williams turns off to Hamilton. Long three.
That was a deep three that time.
Front of the iron. Here's Graham, drives in through a double team. Missed it. Hamilton with a rebound. Quick outlet to Andre Scott. Races up the left side all the way to the rack. Missed it. Rebound Byron Cook. Missed it. Rebound Andre Scott. Missed it. He hits the deck. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Culver's ball. Vikings had 3 shots at it and couldn't score.
Yeah, Coach Chad Lance wanted to foul that time. He thought Andre Scott was fouled on that offensive rebound going up for the stick back. I'd have to agree with him. Looks like there was a lot of contact, but no call. Andre will sit down. Kyle Hickey back into the Viking lineup.
So it is Hamilton, James Lane, Joe Williams, Hickey, and Cook on the floor for Valley, leading by 16 at the 8-minute mark of the first half. Vitoria, young man from Spain, playing the point here. Donovan Jones into the game. Here's a shot that's missed. Rebound comes down to Hamilton. Cook wants to push it. He takes it all the way to the rack, flips it up, scores. It is fouled. Well, we talk about DJ Jenkins getting up in the floor in a hurry. That'd be a good foot race between those two. Cook got there in a flash.
And Byron Cook does not shoot the ball that much, but he showed great body control that time. Took that ball coast to coast, off balance when he shot it, but he drew and withstood the contact. Nice soft touch off the glass and a chance for the three-point play right now. And again, Byron Cook, he is a freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas, same place Andre Scott's from.
Trayvon Mitchell picked up the foul, his second. Let's see if Mr. Cook can complete the three-point play, and he does not. Rebound, however, to Hamilton, as Hamilton snuck into the lane and got that rebound. The Vikings get another shot clock. 7:42 to go in the half. Big Joe Williams out front, now off to Cook. Cook spins around his man in the lane. Shake and bake move. No, look past to Joe Williams, who lays it off the glass. Vikings up by 20, 35-15.
Boy, the Byron Cook show the last 2 times down the floor.
Now here's a push and a foul on Cook as they get that ball inside to Christian Jones, and Cook fouled him. That'll be a 2-shot foul on Cook. That is his first, Joe. That's only the second foul on Valley.
Yep, 1 foul on Byron, 1 foul on Andre Scott, and that's been it for the Vikings so far with 7:24 to go in the half.
Let's see what the big left-hander can do here. Ooh, that wasn't a very good-looking free throw by Jones. He barely hit the front of the iron there.
And I'll tell you right now, Ken, the Vikings have Culver Stockton completely out of sync. I think this switching defense has really confused Culver, and they're just not playing with a lot of confidence on offense right now.
First free throw by Jones was no good. He spins another one up there and got that one to go. He has 3 points. Nobody on the Culver team with more than 3. Marquez Poole, Trayvon Mitchell, Christian Jones, and Uteria all have 3 points. Brody Thompson back in. Uteria tries to pressure him, but he brings it up court in a hurry. And now we're going to have a foul, I think, called on one of the Wildcats. I believe that's Donovan Jones.
Yeah, Donovan Jones just into the game, grabbed hold of Brad Hamilton. Brad coming off a screen that time, and Jones got down, tripped him up. So that's the last non-shooting foul for Culver. Vikes will be in the 1-1 after this.
7:14 to go in a very entertaining first half. Valley up 35-16. Hickey out to Bowling. Back to Brody Thompson underneath Joe Williams in the lane. His jump hook is good. 4 points for Texan Joe Williams, and the Vikes are up by 21.
Joe cleared some space in the lane and knocked it down.
Look out, Joe. Joe knocks the ball away, and he runs into the coaching staff.
Joe is heading in our direction. It was a little scary. I think of guys I wouldn't mind hitting me. Joe's not one of them, though.
And Ramon Powell, thank you for standing in our way and stopping that train from coming to this table. Uteria off to Graham. Boy, they switch defenses again. Nice pass underneath in the foul. They threw that cross-court pass toward the basket, and Jones went up, grabbed it, laid it in, and was fouled.
That's kind of a mini alley-oop.
Yeah.
They didn't get it up that high, but Jones went up, got it about 7 feet off the ground and laid it in and drew contact, so he'll be on the line to try to complete the three-point play. But again, the Vikings, a nice lead, 19-point lead with 6:39 left to play in the half.
Foul is on Bowling. Jordan picks up his first, and just the 3rd foul on the Vikings. Lane and Robbie Burton come in, and Joe Williams is out, and I'll tell you, those guys did a good job.
I'm going to ask Ramon. Ramon just took that shot from Big Joe. Are you okay? Ramon shakes his head, says he's okay.
He bailed us out. I know that.
You saved us. We thought he was coming our way.
Here's the free throw. No good by Jones. And the Vikings maintain a 37-18 lead. Brody Thompson, baseline underneath the lane. He got by his man and laid it in.
That was a great screen and a great backdoor cut that time by James Lane. He was wide open. He's got 7 points.
Vikes up by 21 with 6:18 to go in the half. Graham into the corner. Jones kicks it in the corner to Graham. Fires a 3. It won't go. Rebound. Lane grabs another one. Off to Brody Thompson. Brody across the timeline goes right side. And now I think we're going to have a foul. And it's going to be called on Jonathan Jones as he prevented Andre Scott from getting up court, much to the chagrin of Jack Schrader. So Jones picks up the foul, and Andre will be at the line to shoot a couple of free 1-and-1.
Yeah, he and Andre got tangled up down there on the far end. I think Jones hooked him, so Andre, like I said, will head to the stripe. That'll be Jones' 2nd foul.
Jack Schrader bringing in more people. Johnny Mills comes back in. Also Dennis Hogan back in. He's trying to find a combination to turn this thing around. 6:03 to go, and the Vikings have dominated play in the first 14 minutes. Andre at the free throw line. He has a couple of points. First free throw, good. Then he'll have another one.
Well, the Vikings, a very good offensive first half. That's 40 for them right now, and we've still got 6 minutes and 3 seconds left to play.
Here's the next one by Andre. Got them both. He now has 4. The lead grows to 23 points here in the first half. JoJo Graham with the basketball. Yeah, the Vikings change defense about every possession. Brody Thompson with a steal. Here comes Brody behind the back pass, and Robbie Burton saves it. That ball's going out of bounds. Now Brody for a 3. Got it! Well, it was like, I'm going to get mad at you because you made a bad pass. They save it, you hit a 3. How can I get upset at you?
What a great shot. And Brody's feeling it right now. You can see a lot more confidence as he shoots that 3. He had a big day on Saturday.
4-18. JoJo Graham kicks it around. Here's Uterio for 3. Missed it. Rebound, Andre Scott. The Vikings on the run again. Leading 44-18. What a half with 5:13 to go. Wow. Brody Thompson, top of the key. He's being guarded by Mills. Around the screens. Keeps the dribble alive. Now gives it off to Andre on the right wing. Exactly 5 minutes to go in the half. 13 on the shot clock. Thompson, high post to Lane. Turns, faces the basket. 7. Hickey loses the ball, picks it up. 4 seconds to go. He'll drive inside, throw up a wild shot. It won't go. Ball hit the rim, however. And now Jones had it, almost walked, got away with that. I think he did.
I think he got away with the travel. I believe he did, but
wow.
That's all right. You're heading this much. Don't worry about it.
And here's both baseline, high arching shot will go down for Johnny Mills, his first bucket. 44-20. Vikings up by 24. They'll take a timeout with 4:25 to go here in the first half.
You know, Johnny Mills, that's about the only name I remember off this team from last year. He averages 15 points a game, and that's his first bucket. He's a senior, but boy, the Vikings, 44 points with 4:25 left. They've got to be on pace for some kind of a night. And I'll tell you what, Culver Stockton, I don't see them trying to slow the tempo down any. I think they'll keep going fast pace. And right now, the Vikings playing their game, playing it better than they are.
Well, Courtney Campbell is sitting with us here at halftime, one of our mass communication students. She worked the first game upstairs. And, Courtney, if they keep playing like this, you'll have to be here at courtside every game. You know, these coaches are superstitious.
Courtney, now, are you excused since you're here tonight?
No.
Are you excused from tomorrow's assignment or
no.
not?
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock or 9:20. Are you in the first group? Okay.
You want me to write? You want me to write you an excuse? I'll be glad to write you a note from home if you want me to.
Joe, I always tell them I have to get up early too, so if I can make it, you can make it.
Well, you're riding to Republic with me at 5:30, aren't you?
I don't think so. Not
I thought you said you might.
Vikings have the ball here, up by 24 with 4:19 to go in the half. Hamilton's had a couple of big threes. Leaves it for Andre Scott. Man-to-man defense by the Wildcats. Into Robbie.
Oh, Robbie!
He goes to his left, kind of bends his back to the right, and flips it in. What a shot.
14 points for Robbie in the first half.
46-20. Hogan, whistle, offensive foul, and Jones is upset. He's mad at Hogan. He wanted the balls. He got low block position and then called for the offensive foul. Joe, I think here in the next 3:58, if you really go after this team, they're not looking like much of a happy bunch right now.
Well, Donovan Jones, I guess that foul came up against the other Jones, Christian Jones. I'm sorry. So, yeah, the Vikings have got him out of rhythm right now and really are playing well. And, again, switching defenses is making a big difference, I think.
Big Joe Williams to Cook. Gets inside now to James Lane. On the baseline, got it. Wow, everything going right for the Vikings. We're up by, could you believe this, 28 points.
James didn't plan to shoot that. He thought, hey, nobody else is open. I'll just go ahead and pop, and he nails it.
I can't wait to see the shooting percentage. Crouch from the corner, missed it. Rebound, offensive rebound, put back up, missed it. Rebound again to Hogan. This time he's fouled, and there's my foul on Joe Williams. But three cracks at it by Hogan. The Vikings just couldn't come down with a rebound.
I doubt if you will see Joe pick up too many fouls where it's a bucket and one. If he fouls you under the basket, it's going to take a miraculous shot for you to put it in the hole.
That's what we were talking about in the women's game. If you go for a shot, you foul. Make sure that ball does not go in. Hogan at the line here will shoot a couple. That was only the 4th foul on Valley, and this free throw is no good by Hogan. They are only 1 out of 4 from the line. With 3:25 to go in the half, Jake Fletcher will come in now for Valley.
Well, the secret for the Vikings, you've got to keep this intensity up. It's easy to let down. I mean, let's be honest, they're in complete control right now. There's a lot of time left, and you want to keep this intensity. You've got to play hard for 40 minutes.
And this is the kind of team that they can come back because they're not going to slow it down at all. If they get hot, they can erase the lead. We saw that Saturday. Hogan hits the second free throw. 48-21. Still 3:23 to go in the half. Vikings had a 50-plus half in the second half against Peru, and they're doing it again here.
Doing it again, yep.
Hamilton off to Lane. Back out to Williams. Williams to Hamilton. Now baseline to James Lane. Lane backs his way in, and they're going to call it for an offensive foul. He was getting ready to put up that little baby hook from the baseline. They called him for an offensive foul.
Nice Emmy Award acting job by Dennis Hogan.
I don't
there
think
was some contact, but I don't believe there was quite that much.
So 48-21, 3:08 to go. Coach Lance agreeing with you. Joy said you talk about the flop.
Yep.
Here's Hogan. He's the one. He's the floppy.
Yep. He's the man.
Outside. Vikings chasing all over the floor. Hogan. Little shake and bake move and dribbles right into James Lane.
James picked his pocket, clean as a whistle.
Pocket. Now to Cook, back to Lane, off to Fletcher. 2:40 to go in the half. Fletcher around a screen. Gives it back to Williams. His shot from the 15 feet out won't go. Rebound comes down to Graham. Graham drives through traffic. High arching shot won't go. Tip ball. Ball being tipped around. Hogan has it. Throws it up. No good. Rebound Lane ahead to Fletcher. Fletcher brings it down right side. He'll take it in. Lean in. Score. And they're going to call that an offensive foul. Boy, there's a lot of movement. Will they count the basket?
I don't think so.
Nope.
I think that might have been a pretty good call right there. I didn't agree with the last one when they called on James Lane, but it looked like that time that pretty good defense by Clay Crouch. He might have moved in, but I thought he'd pretty well established his position.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're looking for some company tomorrow, Jake Fletcher, of course, and Brody are both from Republic. Maybe they go with you.
Well, I might ask him.
It's 48-21. 2:05 to go. Vikings haven't scored a few possessions. Now the ball loose on the floor. Picked up by Fletcher. Fletcher across the timeline. 2 minutes to go. Vikings with a big lead. Baseline, Rob Burton. Burton holds it. Couple of dribbles. Didn't like what he saw on the baseline, so he brings it back out. Leaves it for Cook. 22 on the shot clock. 1:45 in the first half. Cook working to the left side. That must be part of the Omaha play that Chad Lance is calling out. Here's Fletcher, drives right side. No look pass, flips it up, and he's fouled by Jones. Christian Jones with a foul. No way Fletcher was going to get that shot over Jones, but he went right into him, flipped it up from about waist high, and drew the contact.
Well, the secret was he went in hard. If he'd gone up easy, that ball would have been rejected, but he went in hard enough that he drew the body contact, and Jake's going to be on the line for 2 shots. 1:35 to go. Thompson will come back in. Here's Jake's free throw, good, and he continues his good free throw shooting. That's Fletcher's first point. Fletcher again is out of Republic, Missouri. 9 different Vikings have scored in the first half, Ken. Fletcher, 85% free throw shooters. He hit some big ones against Peru State the other day. 49-21, trying to get the Vikings to the half-century mark right here with 1:35 to go in the half, and he does. Swoosh. Fletcher hits them both. Vikes have 50. 50-21 with 1:35 to go. Keep the pedal down here in the last 90 seconds. JoJo Graham brings the basketball left side down the middle. He loses it. Picked up by Hickey. Off it comes to Jordan Bowling, who hands it to Brody Thompson. 1:20 to go. Thompson, top of the key. No look pass. Fletcher for 3. No. Hogan with a rebound. Now he loses it off of his Brody Thompson's leg, but picks it back up. Baseline, 3 on the way. No. Long rebound out to Crouch. Crouch hands it off, and they'll slow it down now a little bit. Will the Wildcats, under a minute to go in the half. Brody Thompson with a steal. Hickey picks it up. Now Thompson is tied up. And a good hustle play by Hogan as he dives to the floor to get the loose ball. And I think on the possession, Culver will get the ball with 50.9 seconds remaining. You know, Ken, 2 guys leading this Culver team in scoring. Yawan Graham or JoJo Graham, 15.2 points a game. Johnny Mills, 15. So they average almost 31 points a game. They each have 1 bucket only here in the first half. Well, this has been 50 points on the board, but the key is only 21 for this good Culver team. Exactly. 50.9 seconds. Vikings now in a man-to-man on this possession. They have switched, it seems like, on every possession. Here's JoJo Graham. Takes it inside. His leaner won't go, and they're going to call a block. Jordan Bowling, nice job by Jordan. Jordan thought he had position that time. They say Jordan didn't have his feet set, but he took the charge. He stepped into the lane, and so it's going to be a 2-shot foul on Bowling, and that's going to put Graham on the line for a couple. They are only 2 out of 5 from the line. Schaefer's going to come in for Valley. 2 out of 6 now as Graham misses the free throw. Joe, they're not that good a free throw shooting team. Graham, wow, I had to take a double take on this. Graham, one of their leading scorers,
is only a 47% free throw shooting.
Wow, if he could hit free throws, how many would he score?
Because he averages 15.2 a game.
Yeah, pretty good score.
And he misses both here and Rafi Burton with a rebound, and neither one of those looked good at all.
Nope, no, he didn't. No, not good for him that time. All right, let's close the half out well, guys.
21. Here's Hickey, baseline, behind the back with a dribble, fade away, got it. How about this young freshman from Fort Worth? 52-21, a 31-point lead with 20 seconds to go in the half.
5 points for Hickey, a good half for him.
Wow. About all you can say about this half. As Graham looks up at the clock, 10 on the shot clock, they're going to go for the last shot. The Vikes are going to have a huge lead going into the locker room. Uturia gets by his man, drives to the lane, throws it up and in, and he got it with 1 second to go to give him 5. But how about the Vikings first half, 52 points, and they have a 52-23 lead at the break. What do you say about that, huh? Man, that is some kind of a half. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the scoring and more from the Burns Center.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. I don't know if you've noticed, but we got a lot of food in this country. A lot of peaches, a lot of corn, a lot of apples, a lot of everything. We've got so much food that we can't even eat it all. So if we got all this extra food, how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? I just don't get it. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to the hungry kids who need it. They can get you food even if you live in Idaho or Alaska or somewhere crazy like that. This isn't complicated. We got extra food and we've got hungry kids. Feeding America's done the math. Now it's your turn. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. I know you got internet on your phone, so what are you waiting for? We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
That was an impressive first half. Vikings up 52-23. And Joe, we're waiting for the statistics to come up. We'll go over the scoring at that point in time. But back to the women. Here are the standings now after tonight. Mid-America Nazarene and Benedictine are both 5-1. Mid-America, of course, losing to Peru tonight. Culver Stockton's 3-2. Evangel 3-2. Baker 3-3. Valley moved up 3 spots with their win tonight. They're 3-3. Central Methodist 2-4. Avila 2-4. Graceland 2-4. And Peru 1-5. So that win by Valley jumped them 2 spots tonight. Yep. And boy, if they could somehow find a way to get to a 3rd straight win at Benedictine, that would be something else. But that was a big win for these Viking women tonight.
Well,
there's no question about it.
They scored 84 points, and we kept talking, Lee, at least I kept talking about their defense all night. I thought their defense was impressive, but you look at their offense, they score 84 points, so just a good all-around win for the Vikings. And I think the men have kind of fed off that energy because they had a fantastic first half, leading it here 52-23.
Now we'll wrap up the women's here and then move on to the men's, but I have some final stats on that women's game. The Vikings as a team shot 46% tonight, 42% in the first half, 52% in the second half. They held Culver to 41% shooting. Free throws tonight for Valley, they were 14 out of 19, while Culver was 15 out of 22. Well, the Vikings 8 out of they were just 8 out of 23 from beyond the arc, 31 out of 67 for the game. On the other hand, Culver just 3 out of 12. Turnovers, Vikings turned it over 16 times to 13 for Culver. Rebounding, the Vikings at a 6 rebound edge. And Joe, they just played, that was just a good ball game by the Vikings. We mentioned Kiana Wharton, 23 points, so another big game for her.
Slay Earl's 18, I think.
Yep, 11 for DJ. And Kelsey Griffin, 10 points for her. Augusto had 7 for Vasquez, so just a nice win.
If Talea and Kiana can score like that every night, and when you play inside, you can do that. They neither one depend on. Talea did hit quite a few threes here tonight, but both of those girls have strong games going to the basket, so they put up numbers like that, they're going to be tough. But I think one of the key, you mentioned the Vikings only shot 8 out of 23 from beyond the arc, but the good news is they did have 8 3-point baskets. That's 24 points right there, and that makes a big difference. I know Earl's knocked down 4 tonight, so just a good game. Maybe this is a jump start, and they're going to need that kind of effort on Saturday out at the Benedictine.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go over the scoring and the statistics of the first half of this one as the Vikings lead at 52-23.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
They've saved my family from financial ruin. It allowed me and my wife both to focus on the most important thing, which was the health and well-being of our son.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Some statistics are surprising, some are unbelievable, and some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%. And that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
We are back to the Burns Center, Grover C. Redford Gymnasium, and Joe, let's take a look at the scoring, first of all, in that first half, and what a first half it was for Valley.
Well, it's really funny, the Vikings, you think with 52 points, they'd have all kinds of guys in double figures. The only guy in double figures for the Vikings, Ravi L. Burton. Ravi had 14 points, and Ravi, Ken, look at this. Look at Ravi. 5 out of 5 from the floor, 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. So he was almost perfect offensively in the first half. As I said, he had 14, 9 for James Lane, also 9 for Brad Hamilton. Brad knocked down those 2 trays. James knocked down 1 3. They each had 9, as we said. Then it drops off, looks like 5 points in the first half for Kyle Hickey. Kyle had a good first half. 4 for Joe Williams, 4 also for Andre Scott, and then rounding out the scoring, 2 for Byron Cook, a very athletic move for him, and 2 by Jake Fletcher. Brody Thompson also with 3. Brody knocked down that 1 triple from beyond the arc. So good first half for the Vikings. They shoot almost 62%, 19 out of 31. Culver shoots only 9 out of 27 for 33%. The Vikings out-rebound Culver 20-13, and I think one stat that's impressive is fast-paced as that game was. Both teams flying up down the floor. The Vikings only turned the ball over 6 times.
Yeah, and they really played an impressive first half. So I don't know if Chad, what do you tell them in the locker room? I think probably the one thing Chad's probably saying is, listen, we've got a huge lead. We're in good shape, but this team is not going to quit shooting the basketball. And if they start getting hot, we saw, I think Saturday's game would be a good example for them. Say, you know what happens with a 19-point lead because we proved what you can do against it in a very short period of time. So I hope the Vikes come out in this first 4 or 5 minutes and really put this one away.
When you've got to keep the intensity up, because if you get careless, if you get sloppy in the second half with a big lead, that can carry over to the next game, and you certainly don't need that Saturday heading out to Benedictine. So I think the key for the Vikings, they played almost a perfect first half. Got to keep the same intensity, the same focus, move the ball as well as we did, keep hustling on defense, keep moving the feet, hitting the boards, and do those things, and we're going to come away with an impressive win.
Now, here are the standings on the men's side going into tonight's play. Evangel is 4-0. They're playing at Central Methodist tonight. Valley's 4-1, alone in second place. Benedictine 3-2. CMU is 3-2. Culver Stockton 2-2. Peru's 2-3. Graceland 2-3. Mid-America 2-3. So that's where the logjam is. And then Avila and Baker both 1 and 4. And the schedule of games for tonight. Culver Stockton here, of course. Benedictine is at Graceland tonight. So Benedictine, one of those teams just a game behind the Vikings. Mid-America is at Peru. You never know when you go to Peru because they do have some athletes, I'll tell you what. And then Avila at Baker tonight. The two teams toward the bottom, they're both just a game behind Mid-America Nazarene, so one of those teams is going to get their second win. And then Evangel at Central Methodist. So that'll be interesting there to see how that game comes out.
Well, you know, and it's hard to believe. We still think it's early in the season, but we've got this game tonight. We go to Benedictine on Saturday, go to Evangel a week from tonight. Then a week from Saturday, Baker comes here, and that's the end of the first half. So, I mean, the season rolling right along. So, boy, the Vikings can keep this type of play up, they're going to be right in the mix.
Right in the mix, and they're getting a lot of people looking at this Viking team. And I think that women's win tonight will have a lot of people around the conference looking at the Missouri Valley women, too, after the impressive win they had here tonight.
Well, the Vikes have won 3 conference games now, but 2 of them have been very impressive. To go on the road and beat Central Methodist the way they did in the conference opener, and then to come out tonight. And this Culver team has been playing as well as anybody in the conference. They were 3-1 coming in, and the Vikings pretty well control that one from wire to wire.
All right, we're going to take a final break. When we come back, we'll be ready for the second half.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I am your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
My name is Tom Thornton.
And my name is Cindy Thornton. We've been married 38 years. We're retired, and this is how we live united.
We play golf and we travel, but we also decided we were going to give to and volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
I do the nursing at the clinic.
I work the front office, checking in patients, greeting them, making them feel comfortable.
United Way is how we contribute, because we know our time and money are going to the right places, the places that need it most and implement it best.
Judging by the thank yous we get at the clinic, I'd say we're doing the right thing with our retirement too.
We even get a few bless yous. It's incredible.
We're Tom and Cindy Thornton. We volunteer at our community free health clinic, so we don't just wear the shirt.
We live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Well, we are back and about ready to go the second half as the Vikings have the lead, a big lead, 52-23 over the Culver Stockton Wildcats. Joe All will have the second half, and Joe, I don't know, I guess We'll ask the coach after the game if this one stays the way it is, what the secret was. But wow, what a first half.
Well, I've got to give you credit, partner. You got me a pretty good lead to work
Let's
with
see if
going
we
into the
can
second
hold
half.
on.
So if I blow this one, you might want to send me on my way, you know.
Well, you've got a big lead on this one. There's no question about it.
Yeah, team looked very good in the first half, and we just have to, like I say, keep the intensity going, keep it up, and you feel the team. I think one thing you see tonight, playing with a great deal of confidence. There's no hesitancy. They're going very aggressively. They're making sharp passes. They believe they're taking good shots with confidence, and that's when you win a few games like they have, that gets that started.
All right, we're about ready to go. And again, the Vikings, Robbie Burton ended up with 14 points, and he is the leading scorer. Brad Hamilton added 9. Lane had 9 points. They really did a good job here in the first half. Very balanced scoring. Everybody gets to play, and everybody's had some excitement in this one.
Well, and give Chad Lance credit. I think Chad does a good job substituting his players in and out. He keeps people in and out, but he always, good coaches shuffle people in and out, but they always seem to have the right people on the floor when the game's on the line. So I think Chad's done a good job of that this year.
Well, let's see. I think the Vikings get the ball, too, to start the second half.
Don't remember. Nonetheless, the Vikings lead at 52-23, trying to pick up their 5th conference win. Their only setback, that loss on the road right before Christmas on December the 13th, a tough loss up at Mid-America, game where Mid-America just shot lights out on their home floor. But here we go. We start the second half for the Vikings. It's Byron Cook, James Lane, Andre Scott, Brad Hamilton, Robbie Burton, the original starting lineup on the floor. Man-to-man by Culver to start out. Into Robbie Burton. There's a little jump hook inside. This one rolls off the front, no good. Rebound out of there to Trayvon Mitchell as Culver Stockton brings the ball the other way. They want to get hot early. And there's a drive inside, rejected by James Lane. James got the block, but then Mitchell gets a rebound, sticks it back in. So nice defensive play by JL that time.
Long way to go, but
now Cook, nice take with the left hand, and Byron goes all the way to the rack, flips it up with the left hand, knocks it down. So Byron doesn't score much, but a couple of good shots for him to get his 4 points here this evening.
That was a tough shot.
It was left-handed too.
Yep.
Now reverse dribble, nice drive inside. That's going to be a foul, I believe, on Robbie as Johnny Mills takes that one right down the middle. The big guy had his feet moving, so they're going to call Robbie for a foul. I believe that'll be his first foul, I think. Yep, that's Robbie's first foul. So that'll put Johnny Mills. Johnny is one of the only seniors on this team. He's a guard out of Detroit, Michigan, averaging 15 points a game. He'll have 2 shots here. Mills, the only name I really remember off this team from last year.
Yeah, that is pretty much an entirely new bunch.
First shot in the air by Mills is strong off the back of the rim. He'll have one more. As the Vikings, big lead at halftime, 52-25, and they've had everything going their way. Or 50-25, 52-25, right. And Mills knocks down the second one, so he gets 1 out of 2. He's got 3 points in the game. We've played a minute here in the second half. It's been all Vikings from wire to wire here. Cook around the screen, head of the key to Burton. Now Robbie right down the paint, tried to slam and got fouled. Boy, that was kind of like a read option play that time. Robbie drove right by Brad Hamilton. He thought he was going to hand off to Brad. Instead, kept the ball and went right to the rack and had a wide open layup. Tried to slam it, missed it, but he got fouled.
He'll shoot too. I like that play. That would have brought this crowd to its feet had he been able to slam that one.
That's the 3rd foul on Christian Jones, one of the key players for Culver. Robbie's first free throw good. And Robbie continues his torrid free throw shooting. He's a perfect 5 out of 5 tonight. Thursday night seems to be his night from the line.
He is a 71% free throw shooter, so you don't mind having him there.
Last Thursday night, he was 11 out of 12, making 6 out of 6 tonight. He's got 16 points as the lead is an even 30 right now with just under 19 minutes left to play in the game. Vikes operate now. Looks like they're in the back of that zone again, I believe. Looks like his own defense. The left wing, it comes to Mitchell. Now good ball movement by Culver. Almost throw it away. Mills has it taken away by Hamilton. Brad, Vikes have numbers. Brad to the rack, up and in. So Brad Hamilton used his right hand that time. Got the steal, took the layup up with the right hand. Give him 11 points. He's in double figures, a 20 or 32-point Viking lead.
Hard to say that, isn't it? 32-point lead.
I haven't said that very often. Outside Mitchell, right wing to Mills. There's a deep three by Mitchell, head of the key. This one misses. Nice offensive rebound in there by Jones. They're going to say he walked. So Christian Jones got the offensive rebound, shuffled the feet underneath, trying to go up with the stick back, and Big Joe checks into the lineup. Instant contact comes in. Ravio Burton takes a seat.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Culver team, you can kind of see it now. It'll get some shots to go down the next couple minutes, Joe. It could be a long second half for them, I think.
Looks like Culver still in that man-to-man defense. Andre Scott outside, guarded by Mitchell. Comes around a James Lane pick. Now gives it back to Byron Cook. Cook with the left-hand dribble. Gets it to Big Joe. Big Joe, right wing, Andre. Andre around a pick. Puts up a three. Got it. Andre Scott knocks down a three. That's his first triple of the game. Give him 7 points in the game, and the Vikes just keep pouring it on, 61-26. Team has not done very much wrong here tonight. Outside, there's Graham. Graham lobs high post to Jones. Jones had it knocked away. I think Big Joe got the steal. Joe knocked that one loose. Now ahead to Byron Cook. Byron brings it into the forecourt. Cook yo-yos to the right wing to Andre. Andre backs it out, now gives to Big Joe ahead of the key. Joe puts it on the deck one time, hands back to Cook. Cook to Andre on the right wing, 20 on the shot clock. Deep three by Andre, this one no good. Nice rebound that time by Christian Jones. Now Byron Cook picks his pocket. Cook got the steal for the Vikings, now throws it right back to Culver. And now the Vikes, Andre Scott's gonna get a foul as he reaches around Javon Graham. And that's going to be Andre's second foul, I believe, as Andre Scott reaches around at midcourt. That'll be the second team foul on the Vikings as Jake Fletcher comes into the lineup. Andre Scott will take a seat with exactly 17 minutes left to play in the game. In case you just tuned in, folks, it's all Vikings. They lead at 61-26. They led at 52-25 at halftime. They've started out the second half on a 9-1 run. There's a deep three by Graham. This one good. So Juwan Graham, the leading scorer on this team, that's his first triple of the game, give him 5 points for Culver Stockton. Now Cook outside. Byron hands over to Fletcher, back head of the key to Big Joe. Big Joe gives it on the left wing to Hamilton. Brad around a James Lane screen. Now Brad gets it back to Lane, up and in. Boy, nice give and go that time between Brad Hamilton and James Lane. James flipped it in, he's in double figures with 11, and now Culver the other way. Juwan Graham takes it to the bucket. He's going to be fouled.
I think Jacob Fletcher got
Foul
it.
comes up on Jake Fletcher. That'll be Jake's second, I believe, and that'll put Graham on the line for 2 shots. He's a junior out of Flint, Michigan. This Culver Stockton team has quite a Michigan connection.
Yeah, and last year they did too, and they go to Detroit and Flint, and that's where he gets those transfers from.
Graham knocks down the first free throw, give him 6. He'll have one more as he tries to cut into this big Viking lead, misses the second one. And Jake Fletcher tracks down the rebound for the Vikings. 63-30, 16-18 left to play. Vikes in great shape right here. Trying to win their 5th conference game. Now outside it comes to Fletcher. Fletcher with a wraparound pass into James Lane. There's that little jump hook, good. Get that ball into James.
Yep.
You talk about money in the bank. That's it. They put the money in the account because he's going to knock it down. And James has 13 points in the game. Left wing to Mel taken away. They try to get it in as Pole tries to make a pass inside. Taken away by Byron Cook. Cook to Fletcher. Fletcher up.
Look out.
And
Look
Jacob
out.
Fletcher knocked to the floor hard that time. And Jacob goes down hard. I hope he didn't hit his head. I'm not sure what happened right there as Jacob Fletcher gets whacked to the floor on that drive. Jacob went in hard. He was fouled by Dennis Hogan. And the Viking staff out tending to Jake Fletcher. Jake's sitting up right now, so I think he's going to be okay. They're going to call that an intentional foul.
Yeah.
They're going to call that on Dennis Hogan. That'll be an intentional foul, and I would say rightfully so.
Yeah, that was a lot of contact. Jack Schrader's saying he went for the ball, but there was a lot of contact there. Jack frustrated tonight because I'll tell you what, his team, we said the first 4 or 5 minutes would decide this game, and the Vikings go from a 29 to a 35-point lead. So this thing is
There's
now
a Jack just got a tee.
He wanted that.
He's got a tee.
He's frustrated.
I'll tell you what, there's one thing. It's a long drive from Marshall, Missouri to Canton, but when you take a shellacking, at least like they have so far, it's going to be one whale of a long drive here tonight, unless things really turn around drastically for this team. In the second half.
just saw the replay of that. And even though Hogan may have been going for the ball, he reached out with that left arm and he caught Fletcher right across the chest and really slung him down.
So the Vikings going to be shooting free throws for a while here. They have an intentional foul, that's 2 shots, and they've got a technical foul, that's 2 more. So the Vikings going to shoot 4 free throws
and
here.
get the ball.
Jake Fletcher's okay. I didn't know how badly Jake was shaken up, but he's on the line. He's going to shoot his 2 free throws. So obviously the guard from Republic is okay, and he knocks down the first free throw. Jake is a sophomore out of Republic, and he's hits that first one. He's a perfect 3 for 3 from the night. He'll have 1 more here. Hits it, and I say they might just go ahead and let him shoot the 2 technical free throws as he's on a roll right now. Go ahead and put him up there, young man. Knock 2 more down.
Coach just says stay up there.
And so Jake will have 2 more shots here as he tries to widen the gap even more. Next shot, bingo. So Jake's standing there cool as a cucumber. Everybody in the place watching him. Nobody else on the line, and he's knocked down 3 in a row. Let's see if he can do 1 more. Make it a quartet here. I guess that's 4. I don't know.
Sounds good.
4 shots, good. So Jake Fletcher. Looked very reminiscent of the free throw shooting job he did last Saturday. He knocks down all 4. And folks, if you just tuned in, this is Culver Stockton we're playing. A very good program, and the Vikings lead it with 15:44 left to play. They lead it 69-30.
No way. We thought this was going to happen tonight. This game is 15:44 to go is over. Joe, we said at halftime, 29-point lead. First 4 or 5 minutes would be the key to what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, now it's a 39.
Well, one of our challenges tonight is going to be to find things to talk about for the rest of the night, because this game all but. Unless it's not over yet, but boy, with a 39-point lead and playing at home and under 16 minutes left, Vikes, I'd say, are in pretty good shape.
If it's not over and something does happen, we won't have a post-game show with Chad Lance.
No, we will. And I'm not sure we'll have a post-game show, period.
Oh, man. What a performance by these Vikings. And again, on the replay, on the live stream replay that Chaz Matty provides us, Coach's argument was that he was going for the ball. Well, he was, but he took that left arm and raked him right across the chest and just kind of slung him to the if that's a word, to the floor. So it wasn't really going for the ball. It was a rough foul.
And you can foul hard, but you can't knock somebody to the ground and you very intentionally try to whack them down. If you do it in the course of the action, that's one thing. All right, Viking ball with a big lead right now. Left wing, it comes to Byron Cook. Cook guarded out there by Mills. Hands back to Hamilton. Now they try to get a steal as Poole reaches around, or Graham reaches around. Now Big Joe recovers it in the corner. Skips it outside to Hamilton, into the right corner. Hickey's 3 on the way, a little bit short. Offensive rebound by Big Joe. And Big Joe comes out of there with a grimace on his face as he went right in the middle. Took that ball away from about 4 different people, and he's fouled on the stick back, so he'll be on the line for 2 shots. Did you see that look of determination on Joe's face right there?
He took that away from 3 Wildcats, and now he'll go to the line. Let's see if Joe Williams can add to his 4-point total.
Joe, don't go up quite as hard as you did on the stick back on this free throw. Joe bends that deep knee bend shot. Got it. So Joe knocks it down. Give Joe 5 points in the game. He'll have 1 more as it's a 40-point Viking lead. 70-30. Who would have thunk it? Second shot in the air by Williams is good. So Joe knocks down both.
The Vikings are 17 out of 18 from the line tonight, too.
Unbelievable. Shot 62% from the floor in the first half. And
almost 100% from the line.
Big James Lane gives us a high five over here. He's pretty happy right now. James, you've had a good ball game so far. All right, now Joe Williams knocks the ball away in the corner, but it comes back to
Hogan.
And the shot missed inside by Poole, the first shot. Now Hogan gets it. He goes down the middle and misses the shot, but he's fouled. So that's going to put Dennis Hogan on the line for 2 shots, and that foul is going to come up, I believe, on Andre Scott. That'll be Andre's 3rd foul. So Hogan steps to the line. He's a junior. He hails from Detroit, another one of those Detroit players. He misses the first free throw, so he'll have 1 more.
Boy, they just cannot shoot free throws. The Vikings are 17 out of 18, and they're just the other way.
Dennis Hogan with 1 more. Second shot good. So Hogan gets 1 out of 2. It's still a 40-point game as we're under 15 minutes left to play.
Joe, they're 5 out of 13 from the line.
Yeah, it's just been one of those nights for them. Now Hickey gets it ahead of the key to Big Joe. Big Joe spins to the free throw line, hands back outside to Cook. Byron yo-yos back to Hickey. Vikes running that high perimeter offense. Hickey gives back to Lemaire, who's in the game. Darryl Lemaire back to Cook. 9 on the shot clock. Byron back to Hickey. Hickey's baseline jumper, bang, knocks it down. Vikings ran that shot clock all the way down. They got it to Kyle Hickey on the right wing. He drains it. He's got 7 points in the game.
Wow.
74-31. Now Johnny Mills goes down the middle, and I think, is that Jordan Bowling or Joe? Big Joe. Big Joe whacks it.
He's going to
Mills goes to the ground.
He's going to get his fouls for him before the night's over.
One thing about it, though, that ball was not going in the basket. So Johnny Mills is senior, back to the stripe. He'll have a couple of shots here for Culver Stockton as Brody Thompson gets set to check in. And Mills knocks down the first one. He'll have one more. And Byron Cook comes over, takes a seat. So Brody will take over that point guard position right now. And as Coach Chad Lance, as he does so well, continues to shuffle fresh bodies in and out of the lineup. One more shot for Mills right here. Cocks his knees, fires it, knocks it down. 74-33. Brody Thompson quickly across for the Vikings. Back to Hickey. Hickey hands on the left wing to Lemaire. Darryl gives head of the key to Big Joe. Big Joe gives back to Brody. The Republican product, left-hand dribble. Back to Hickey. Hickey just inside the free throw line. Stopping Joe, throws up a teardrop. Boy, what a nice touch that time by Kyle Hickey. Just kind of flipped it up in the lane, came right down through the bucket. He's got 9.
He's just a freshman. He's going to be fun the next few years.
He got some nice move that time by Mills. That was a nice take that time as Johnny Mills changed directions, went down the right side, laid it in. Bowling for a 3, got it! Jordan Bowling knocks down a tray. Oh, the senior from Crane knocks down a tray, and Coach Jack Schrader said it's time for another timeout. So
let's be honest. The Wildcats not that interested tonight in playing much defense.
No.
This is a run and gun game, and everybody in the Vikings is hot, and they're having fun.
On that timeout, the entire Viking team went out to meet Jordan Bowling on the floor. They met him around midcourt as Big Joe knocks down a 3. Not Big Joe knocks down a 3. Jordan Bowling drains that 3 from beyond the arc. And it's just one of those nights, Ken, where they can do nothing wrong. Culver can do nothing right. It's 79-35. 13:29 left in the game.
Jack's probably thinking, I can't wait till February to get you back at my place.
Yeah.
On a Thursday.
Yeah, it'll be a different, probably a different scenario we go up there.
But have some fun tonight because this team has earned it tonight, boy. Unbelievable.
Okay. I see Bruce Reyes sitting on the far side over there. Wonder what Bruce's plans are next year.
He had a heck of a 4 years as a starting quarterback.
4 years starting quarterback on 4 conference championship teams for the Vikings. Now Mills runs over Joe. They're going to call a blocking foul on Joe Williams. Joe goes to the deck, stepped in front of Mills, but they say he wasn't set, so Joe will pick up his 3rd foul. That's going to put Mills back on the line. You know, Johnny Mills, just like a senior, continues to play hard down the stretch. Team down by 44 points, but he's still banging around in there, still playing hard. Mills' first shot is good. So Mills has knocked down 4 free throws in a row. Kind of a quiet first half for him. He had 2 points in the first half, but he's had 6 here in the second half, 8 points in the game.
Yeah, he's helping their free throw percentage, which wasn't very good, but he's knocking some down.
He'll have one more here to try to cut into the lead, but it's all academic now as Mills hits the second one. 79-37, 13-13 left to play. Brody Thompson. Brody around the screen. Outside to Big Joe. Joe wraparound pass into Bowling. Bowling back to Brody. Good ball movement by the Vikings. Brody throws up one from the corner. Misses, but Bowling gets a steal and lays it in. Jordan Bowling picks a pocket in the backcourt, gets the steal. Jordan scored the last 5 Viking points. 81-37 with 12:49 left.
Vikings will go to 11-5 after this. More important, they're going to be 5-1 in this league.
Now a nice jump shot inside. Nice touch that time by Christian Jones, a big left-hander. And he stands in at 6'6", knocks down the jump shot. Now Big Joe inside throws up a hook and misses it. Battle for the loose ball underneath. Jordan Bowling got a hand on it, but they say Jordan was the last to touch it, so the ball goes back to the Wildcats as Ituria checks back into the Culver Stockton lineup. He was the leading scorer for the Cats in the first half with 5 points. Ituria gets it over to Poole. Poole back outside to Crouch, who's in the lineup. Now they hand it back. There's a deep three, and this went off. It's no good. That shot was taken that time by Randall. Ahead now to Hickey. And now they're going to call some pushing underneath. I think they're going to say Jordan Bowling. They're going to say Jordan Bowling pushed off on Armarapi Randoa. I tell you what, this Culver Stockton team has some all-conference names.
That's what I told Jack. I said they're worse than my last name.
You've got Amara Pre Randawa. You've got Frances Ituria.
Yep.
Ituria. All right, there's a deep three by Crouch out of the right corner. He knocks it down. So Clay Crouch gets his first bucket of the game. It's a tray with just under 12 minutes left to play as Marcus Daniels in the lineup for the Vikings. Now driving inside, Hickey. Kyle throws up a shot. Boy, Kyle Hickey putting on a clinic. He's now in double figures with 11. We mentioned a couple of these newcomers. Darrell Lemaire, he's a 6'3" freshman out of Manor, Texas. And then the other newcomer, Marcus Daniels, he's a 6-foot junior out of Orlando, Florida. They both have come into the Viking lineup right now. So the ball knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. Now checking in is another newcomer coming into the game is Lance Schaefer. He's a 6'4" sophomore out of Bolivar, Missouri, as Jordan Bowling will take a seat for the Vikings.
Tell you, Hickey's a good player out of Fort Worth. He's just going to get better and better.
He's had a good night tonight. I like his touch on those little runners in the lane. And the corner, Crouch with another three attempt. Got it again. So Clay Crouch has come in and drained 2 threes back-to-back for Culver Stockton, but it's still an 83-45 Viking lead. Now Hickey outside. Hickey stop and go dribble. Wrap around pass to Big Joe. Joe goes inside, leans inside, and puts it in. Big Joe was not going to be denied that time. Ken, he's got 8 points in the game.
Everybody doing the job tonight.
85-45. And we're not halfway through the second half yet.
Wow.
Now outside, Poole. Poole outside, taken away by Lemire. Here come the Vikings. They've got numbers, 3-on-2. Lemire stops, now loses it, now gets it back to Big Joe. Big Joe inside, throws up a flip, and he's fouled. So nice body control. That time Joe went up, came underneath the defender, drew contact, and how many times has Joe been on the floor tonight?
Well, I tell you what, he lives there. He gets right back up. He's ready to go to the line. He's looking to get to the 10-point mark. That was only the 5th foul on the Wildcats, but it's a 2-shot foul.
One of these nights, we're going to count the number of times he heads to the deck in the course of a game.
He plays hard.
That's 4 fouls on Christian Jones, so that'll put Joe on the line for a couple here. First shot by Big Joe is a little bit strong off the back of the rim. He'll have one more. Again, Joe Williams. Looking at Joe, he's a senior out of Frisco, Texas, and he'll have one more here.
Coming in, Kern Bradshaw coming in for the first time for the Wildcats.
Second shot by Williams is good, so good night for Joe. He's got 9 points in the game and another timeout on the floor, so 10 minutes and 49 seconds left to play. It's all Missouri Valley. Vikings have led this baby wire to wire. They lead it now 86-45, a 41-point lead.
I think you talk about leading wire to wire. That first 3 or 4 minutes of this game was crucial because the Vikings, remember, jumped out to an early 15-5 lead, and they just kind of stunned the Wildcats and just did not let them get back into this game at all.
No, and I think the Vikings had several big blocks in the first part of the game, and that's changed the offensive philosophy of Culver Stockton. I think they realized they could not go inside at will, and they've had a lot of altered shots and really have not been that much of a force on the inside here tonight.
I see Mike Mockles across the way, and that reminds me that the Missouri Valley College men's wrestling team is set to host the 5th Missouri Valley College Invitational tomorrow and Saturday right here. This year's invitation will feature over 20 NAIA and NCAA Division II wrestling programs and well over 100 collegiate men's wrestlers, including #1 ranked teams in NAIA and Grandview and NCAA Division II in Maryville. We'll talk more about that, but it starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow night And then 9 o'clock on Saturday, a full day and a half of wrestling right here at the Burns Center. Some of the best wrestling in the country will be right here.
Well, and these Viking wrestlers, once again, a powerhouse in the nation. They've been that way for quite a few years. Mike does a great job of that program. He'll be our guest on Sports of All Sorts, not this Sunday, but a week from Sunday, so we'll talk about that big tournament. That's on KMMO radio. Right outside, Ituria looks outside, now gets it on the right wing. Headed over to Bradshaw. Now they get it back to Crouch. Crouch on fire, puts up another three and got it. So Crouch.
They gave him 2 there.
I gave him a 2. So Clay Crouch has scored, I think, the last 8 points for Culver Stockton.
Coach Schrader saying, I should have had you in there earlier.
Outside to Big Joe. Joe hands to Hickey. Hickey's had a good night. Hickey comes around a screen. Now goes down the lane, fires it up off balance, missed it but got fouled. So good ball control, good body control that time by Kyle Hickey, and that should put him on the line for 2 shots.
Ituria, I believe, picked up the foul. That'll be his second.
That's Ituria's second. You're right. And we mentioned Kyle Hickey, the freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas, had maybe one of his better offensive games of the year as he misses that first free throw. He's got 11 points in the game. He'll have one more shot here. Kyle 6'4". Looks like maybe he could even grow a little bit more. He's got kind of a slender frame, so maybe he hasn't reached his full growth spurt yet. He missed the free throw, and Culver comes down with a rebound. Likes to be on the road Saturday afternoon. The men and women will head to Atchison, Kansas to take on Benedictine as Christian Jones lays one in for Culver Stockton on the other end. Under 10 minutes left to play, 86-49. It's all Vikings, has been all night. Now Marcus Daniels gets in the act as Marcus Daniels goes inside. Almost flipped that one straight up in the air, but managed to hit the backboard, dropped it in. That was a nice shot that time. Crouch outside, hands back out to Ituria. Now back to Bradshaw with the left-hand dribble guarded by Hickey. Into the corner comes to Ituria. Ituria with 5 points has not scored in the second half. Right wing, ball goes back to Randella. Randella to Bradshaw. Bradshaw runs into Marcus Daniels, and I think they're going to call a blocking foul on Marcus. That time Randella ran over Marcus, but they said Marcus not set, so I think that's going to be a 2-shot foul for Bradshaw.
Well, Chad getting everybody in the game. He's cleared his bench already. It's about the 12-minute mark.
9 minutes and 8 seconds left to play. Bradshaw's first shot, no good. He'll have one more as Jake Fletcher comes back in. Darryl Lemaire takes a seat.
We had a real good crowd here for most of the first half, and a lot of them have gone home now after pleased with what they saw.
Now Bradshaw will have one more. Shot's good, so Bradshaw gets 1 out of 2. He's in the scorebook. 88-50, the Vikings lead nearing the 9-minute mark left in the game. Outside, Hickey gives to Fletcher. Jake with the left-hand dribble, hands back to Marcus Daniels. MD backs out between the circles to Fletcher. Head of the key to Big Joe. Think about a 3, Big Joe. Instead, he hands over to Marcus. Daniels with the left-hand dribble. And there's going to be a foul as I think that was DJ Hobbs. Yep. DJ Hobbs into the Culver Stockton lineup. He grabs Marcus Daniels, and that's team foul number 7 on Culver, so that's going to put Marcus on the line. It's new people coming into the game for both teams.
You'll like this one. Mladenoff.
Mladenoff comes in. So you got Mladenoff and Randall on the floor at the same time.
There you go.
Shot by Marcus Daniels, hits the back of the rim and lips out, no good. So Marcus misses the free throw. Culver the other way. Outside Bradshaw as both teams have pretty well cleared their bench now. Into the corner it comes to Mladenoff. Mladenoff spins back out to Crouch. Crouch is 3, and boy, Clay Crouch is giving this team a lift. He's got 11 points right now, all in about the last 5 minutes of the game.
Came in averaging 4.2 points a game.
8:22 left to play. It's 88-53 Vikings. Fletcher outside. Jake on the right wing to Daniels. Marcus left-hand dribble. Gets it over to Lemaire, who's back in. Lemaire cut off by Crouch. Gets to Schaefer, now gets the ball back. Now gets it head of the key to Fletcher. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Vikes need to get the offense going. Back to Fletcher. Jake drives inside, flips up one just inside the free throw line, and a nice tip.
Lemaire.
And I think, was that Lemaire?
Yep.
Darryl Lemaire goes up and taps that one in. Fletcher missed the jump shot. Lemaire there to clean up the mess and puts it in. 7:44 to go, 90-53. Vikings continue to play well. Now, nice job by Marcus Daniels as Marcus knocks the ball away from DJ Hobbs. But now they're going to say Marcus steps into his path and draws a foul. So Daniels picks up the foul.
Vikings are sure they're at least going to be in second place alone, Joe, or who knows if CMU can knock off Evangel tonight. The Vikes could go on the road Saturday tied for first, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I think Evangel, have we not played one more game than Evangel has? I'm thinking we played one more game. So if Evangel would lose tonight,
technically be a half game.
The Vikings at least for a while would be in first place.
Half game up. We'll see how that game's coming out.
Hobbs' shot is good.
He hit both of them.
So DJ knocks down both free throws. And the Vikings come the other way. It's run this one out. I see Jonathan Bird over on the far sideline. I saw Jonathan greet the team as they came out. Boy, he gave us some exciting moments last year, didn't he? There's a nice steal by Bradshaw. He goes the length of the floor and slams it. But not much to cheer about there as Kim Bradshaw got the steal. Nice dunk by him, but the game is not in doubt right now. 90-57 Vikings. Left wing Lemaire around the screen. Pulls up for the jumper. Missed it. Rolled around the rim for a while and then came off, and Joe Williams
came over the back.
Joe, he's going to whistle Joe for a foul. Yeah, they say Joe went over the back. So Joe picks up his fourth foul. Joe didn't have a real happy look on his face when they whistled that foul against him, but nonetheless, that'll be number 4. And Brody Thompson comes back in. Marcus Daniels will take a seat for the Vikings.
Well, if Lane is done for the night, he has 13. If they're indeed all done, 16 for Burton. They probably are 11 for Hamilton.
There's a shot, and this one bangs off no good. First shot taken that time by Terrence Coles. As Terrence Coles misses the first shot, he is a junior out of Detroit, Michigan. No, they got a lot of players from Michigan, don't they?
Yep. That's where he got that connection. Get those junior college and the Division II transfer players.
Coles misses both free throws in a battle for the loose ball. It comes out of there to Schaefer. Schaefer gets a rebound. Here come the Vikings the other way. Outside, Lemaire gives head of the key to Bowling. Bowling back to Jake Fletcher. Jake with a left-hand dribble. Hands back to Brody. The two Republic players playing catch out there. Nice wraparound pass into Jordan Bowling. Had it swatted away. Nice block that time by Donovan Jones, who's checked back into the Culver lineup. Down to nearing the 6-minute mark left in this game. Now Bowling fouled outside is reaching around. Terrence Coles reaches around and hacks Jordan Bowling. So that'll put the senior out of Crane on the line for a 1-and-1 right here. Jordan's played some good minutes for the Vikings. Played well. Had a 3 here tonight, and he's knocks down that free throw. He's got 6 points, and he knocked down that tray right at the, I think that was at the end of the first half, knocked that down from the head of the key. You know, it was right at the beginning of this half, I guess. Beginning of this half, he knocked it down, and he gets both free throws, so give him 7 points in the game. And the Vikings 92-57 with 6:22 left to play.
Well, let's get Schaefer to score. If Schaefer scores, everybody that played will have scored tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's not a bad player. Right corner it comes to Jones. Donovan Jones gives back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw with the left-hand dribble. Deep 3. This one off the right side taken by Hobbs. Missed. Kyle Hickey there with the rebound for the Vikings. Here come the Vikes quickly across the timeline. Fletcher to Brody. Brody drives baseline. Now into the corner. There's a 3 out of the corner by Hickey. Bang! And Kyle Hickey's feeling it tonight as he knocks down another triple. Right, I guess that's his first triple, but give him 14 points. 14 points in the game for Kyle Hickey.
Wow, what a performance by these Vikings. Still 5:42 to go, and they're at the 95-point mark.
Now Joe Williams gets set to check back in. Joe playing with 4 fouls. Now the lob, high post. High post goes to Coles. Coles gets it on the left wing. Bradshaw yo-yos out to Hobbs. Now driving inside. Nice move by Donovan Jones as Donovan Jones drives inside, flips it in. That's his second bucket of the game. He's got 4. 95-59 Vikings. Again, we'll be in Atchison on Saturday afternoon. The women's game to start at 2 o'clock, the men to play at 4. And Benedictine, Ken, I think they come in at what, 2 and 3? I think they're 2 and 3 in conference. They're the team that I believe was picked to win it at the beginning of the year. 3 and 2 they come in. They come in at 3 and 2. So they're a good ball club, so that'll be a real test on the road on Saturday.
And they're at Graceland tonight.
Now Kyle Hickey drives inside and draws the foul, so Kyle will be on the line for 2 shots here to try to add to his 14-point total on the night. First shot good, so boy, Kyle's had it going tonight. He has not missed very many shots, and he'll have one more here. Kyle's second shot is good. Boy, nice night for the freshman. Maybe this will be a breakout game for him.
Well, we have one men's score. Benedictine beat Graceland tonight, 63-48. So Benny won their game. They're 4 and 2 down the league.
That'll be a tough game Saturday. Outside to Donovan Jones. Now Jones has it taken away by Daniels. Marcus goes inside and had it knocked away. And they're going to say Marcus lost it out of bounds. I thought sure he got fouled on that drive, but no foul call. They say Marcus hit it last, ball back to the Wildcats.
Marcus just has a smile on his face as he trots back down court.
He says, boy, there's an awful lot of contact, no call. Outside right wing, high post, now ball knocked away by Big Joe. Here comes Marcus on the run. Marcus to the rack, up and in.
There you go.
Marcus Daniels was not going to be denied that time. Marcus has 4, 99 points for the Vikings. And now a foul. I think they whistle a foul underneath, and I think that's going to come up, I believe, on Hickey. Hickey or Bowling, one of the two. Bowling. They call it on the Bowling. That'll be Jordan's 4th foul. He has 4. Joe Williams has 4, but that's all academic right now as we're down 4.5 minutes left in the game. The Vikings are going to move to 5-1 in conference play with a trip to Benedictine on Saturday as Coles misses the free throw. Schaefer comes back in. Lance Schaefer back into the Viking lineup, and Jake Fletcher takes a seat. Jordan Bowling also 6 down as Coles knocks down the second free throw. He gets 1 out of 2, 99-60. 4:28 left to play. Most of the crowd's disappeared here. Had a big crowd here to start the game, but most everybody's gone home now.
Probably all home studying, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure they got the books open.
Yeah.
Outside to Hickey. Hickey around the screen. Now spins into the lane, throws it. No, he started to throw it up, had it knocked away, knocked out of bounds. So Vikings will get the ball back with 10 seconds on the shot clock, 4:09 on the game clock. Williams into Daniels. Marcus launches a 3, missed it. Rebound comes out of there to Campbell Millar, who's in the lineup for the first time for Culver. Ahead to Hobbs. Hobbs drives in and lays it in, so DJ Hobbs has 4 points in the game. And we're down under 4 minutes. Daniels right wing, Hickey. Hickey around a screen with a left-hand dribble. Now picked up out there, gets it back to Schaefer. Nice ball fake by Lance. His shot in the air. Can't get it to go. Gets the offensive rebound up and in. And Lance Schaefer gets his first points. And guess what, folks? The Vikings have gone over the century mark, 101-62.
And so everybody scored.
Everybody in the lineup scored. Shot missed by Culver. Daniels with a rebound. Marcus pulls up at the free throw line. Now jumps it down to Joe. Nice pass that time by Marcus Williams. Marcus Daniels as he finds Joe Williams underneath the bucket. Joe's in double figures now. I've got Joe with 11 points in the game.
Too.
Now Cole's inside. I believe Big Joe just fouled out of the game. But Joe says, they give me 5, I'm going to take them all. I had a double-figure night. I got my 5 fouls. I've had some fun tonight.
11 points, 5 fouls, played well. Bowling's going to come back.
Joe comes off. Joe has a big smile, pats the official on the back, shakes his hand.
And played well tonight.
He did, played very well. And Joe says, thank you, sir. Thanks for calling those 5 fouls on me, and you guys called a good game. All right, Cole's back to the line. We're down to the 3-minute mark as this one just about over as Cole's missed the first free throw.
Really struggled from the free throw line, too.
This is not one that I think Culver Stockton will lay awake and worry about tonight. I mean, it's just one of those games where there's not much you can say. We just got whipped.
You may just throw this film away and move on.
And Cole's missed the second one, so he misses both. And somebody in the lane too quick. So Coles, who's hit 1 out of his last 6 free throws, will have one more try here.
Now, they really have struggled from the line.
Coles' second shot in the air. He got it. So Coles gets 1 out of 2. 103 to 63. The Vikings have had it all going their way tonight. A 40-point lead right now. Daniels, wraparound pass into Bowling. Back out to Hickey. Kyle goes to the baseline with a nice reverse dribble. Now puts up a baseline jumper, a little strong. The rebound comes out of there that time to Milano. What's his name again? Milanovic?
Yeah, Close. You're close.
I don't know. I'm going to give up trying, I think.
Milano.
All right. High post to Coles. Coles has turned around the lane. This one rolls around the rim and comes out. Nice rebound, Daryl Lemaire. As the Vikings are running out here. Right wing, Lemaire. Backs it out between the circles. Left-hand dribble down the paint. Goes down hard, up off the glass. A little strong. Gets his rebound, flips it up. Can't get it to go. Tip is good. Schaefer. And that's Lance Schaefer. A nice tip by Lance. Lance has 4 points in the game. Down to the 2-minute mark, 105 to 63.
Unbelievable.
I don't remember too many 100-point Viking games since I've been doing this. No. Now Jones, Donovan Jones, back outside to DJ Hobbs. His 3 pinballs out. Kyle Hickey with the rebound. Under 2 minutes to play.
And the other thing is they're not shooting well, and they're not going to slow down.
No,
so
they're going to keep trying. Schaefer thought about a 3, now gets it back out to Marcus. Daniels on the left wing to Lemaire as we're down to a minute and a half in the game. Couple of tough trips coming up. Benedictine on Saturday and Atchison, then down to Springfield to take on Evangel a week from tonight. The next home game will be a week from Saturday as Baker comes here, and now Jordan Bowling spins inside, lays it in off the glass. Jordan's got 9. Everybody getting on the act tonight for the Vikings as we've got 1:14 left to play, 107 to 63. There's a deep 3 by the man, Melinda.
You got it. We'll have it by the next time we play it.
Now Lemaire drives inside. He's fouled as he's hammered by Cole. So that's going to put Daryl Lemaire. Daryl with 2 points on the night. He'll be on the line for 2 shots as we're under a minute to play in the game.
Well, I was impressed with 52 points in the first half. Now 55 here in the second half, and Daryl can add to that.
Daryl shot in the air good. So Daryl knocks down his first. And, you know, with the second teamers in the lineup, this team really hasn't slowed down all that much. Lemaire misses the second one. Nice offensive rebound by Schaefer. There's a 3 by Hickey. This one off the front of the rim, no good. So Lemaire got 1 out of 2. 48 seconds left to play. Donovan Jones over on the left wing to Mladenoff. That's it, Mladenoff. Now ahead to Lemaire. Lemaire throws it back, taken away again by Millar this time. Fast and furious right now as now Bowling gets a steal, and Coach Chad Lance tells the guys, hey, let's slow this thing down and let's get this thing over with.
Told Marcus Daniels just eat it, he said.
The shot clock's off. Culver's in no hurry to foul. The Vikings in no hurry to shoot, and I believe this one's going to end 108 to 63 unless something really weird happens at the end. But the Vikings, a very impressive win as they move their conference record to 5-1 on the season. And overall, the Vikings move their record to 11-5. 11-5 on the year, 5-1 in conference play as they get a very impressive win over what is really a very good Culver Stockton team, but it was all Missouri Valley tonight, and they really played well. And this is one maybe you can build some momentum off of, Ken.
Boy, they started and never looked back. This is the kind of game you can't. Joe, there was never a part of this game where you thought the Vikings were struggling. They never let down at all.
No, they didn't.
Wow, what an impressive performance. 108 to 63. We'll be back and talk to the coach and wrap it up in just a moment.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
They've saved my family from financial ruin. It allowed me and my wife both to focus on the most important thing, which was the health and well-being of our son.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
108-63 is the final score as the Vikings roll past Culver Stockton tonight. The Vikings for the game shot. Let's see. I don't have the shooting percentage down there. Let's see. We're waiting for the second page to come out here. Coach, you want to bet on your shooting percentage tonight? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't know either. I'm just really happy with our performance. We was able to come out here and get some stops and switch some defenses, and that was kind of our game plan from the beginning.
Well, I told Joe after the game, I said, I don't recall any even 2 or 3 minute stretch when you guys weren't on top of your game tonight.
Well, you know, I thought be honest with you, I thought our offense was a little flat. We need to be able to get that ball moving a little bit top side. So we got some things to work on, but I'm not ever going to argue with the win of that caliber. I'm extremely happy with our guys. I thought our focus this week in practice was awesome, and whenever you stay focused in practice, and hopefully it carries over to a game.
You had 11 turnovers, but they doubled that with 22. You had 35 rebounds to their 27. You dominated inside. You knew that's where you wanted to go, and you got there.
Well, we wanted to go inside. We knew we were the bigger team in there. You know, we were prepared for double teams the last time we'd seen them play. They really doubled the ball.
All right, there, Coach. Now we have the shooting percentage. You all shot almost 60%, 59%. The game 61% in the first half, 58% in the second half. Shoot the ball like that, you're going to score 108.
I mean, you will. You know, when I look off our points off turnovers and our points in the paint was a big deal. You know, 29 points off turnovers and 50 points in the paint. And, you know, it's one of those games. I tell our guys all the time, there's 3 things happen throughout the course of the season. You beat somebody you shouldn't, you blow somebody out, and you get blown out. I mean, those 3 things always happen. So, you know, I hope our guys can handle this. You know, we wanted to come in, and we knew this was a big game to keep going for the conference race, and winning home games is crucial.
I wasn't ignoring you and texting while you were talking. I was looking up scores on my phone. Evangel won tonight at Central, 87-68. So it looks like you're still a half game back there. But you won tonight, and then Benedictine, the team we go play, they beat Graceland 63-48. So Graceland's chasing us, and you're chasing Evangel. We go down there a week from Thursday. So, man, this is fun, isn't it? Right in the middle of it.
Well, we got a big game right here. Going to Benedictine. Benedictine is a tough place to play, obviously, and it'll be a spitting image. You know, they're a power team like us and run a lot of ball screens. So, you know, we got our work cut out for us.
You talk about all these players, Coach, but one player I want to mention tonight, and everybody scored, by the way, and you like that, don't you? Everybody?
Definitely.
But Kyle Hickey.
Yeah.
This kid can play basketball.
He can definitely play. He can definitely play. You know, he needs to be able to have one of those games, and I thought that his approach this week was good, and I thought he did a great job.
Led you in scoring 17 points.
Yeah.
I told you the other day when I poked my head in the office that Big Joe Williams could pick up some fouls. He got us 5. Remember?
Joe exited the game, and he says, it's my time to exit.
I tell you, your bench players are fun to watch. All of them, Brody and Jake, they're all fun to watch. Jordan. That's a fun group.
It is. I really like our group. I really like our group.
All right, Coach, I'll let you go celebrate this one tonight. We'll see you at Benedictine, and let's go knock that. We got the home ones out of the way. Now we got to go on the road next 2 and see what we can do there.
All right. Thank you.
You betcha. Chad Lance joins us. Again, the final score, 108-63, this win tonight over Culver Stockton. Let's go over the scoring. First of all, for the Vikings, and it was Kyle Hickey with 17 to lead the way. Robbie Burton had 16, 13 for James Lane, 11 for Brad Hamilton, 7 Andre Scott. Byron Cook had 4, 6 for Fletcher, 3 for Brody Thompson, 4 for Daniels. Lemire had 3, 9 for Bowling, 11 for Joe Williams, and 4 for Schaefer. Everybody scored, Joe. And for Culver, the leading scorer in this ball game. Let's see, they have anybody double figures? They did. Clay Crouch coming off the bench had 11, and that was it. Johnny Mills had 9, 7 for Christian Jones, and on we go. But wow, the Vikings shot almost 60% from the field. 62% in the first half, 58% in the second half.
Well, you know, and when you see a game like this, Ken, you think, oh, somebody probably had a career night. You know, the Vikings leading scorers, this is unofficial. You've got the official there. I've got Robbie Burton and Kyle Hickey both with 16. Yep. They're the leading scorers. 5 different Vikings in double figures. So they really did a good job of spreading the ball around, moving the ball. Everybody got in the action. And Coach Lance, again, a good job of shuffling people in and out. Just a good team win. You know, you win a game like this, the kids had fun tonight. I mean, not that they don't have fun every night. You have fun when you win, but when you can play like this and kind of relax a little bit and do some things that maybe you don't ordinarily do, it's fun. You got to have a night like this once in a while.
Well, the Vikes win it. Evangel did beat CMU, so they're still a half game up on the Vikings with their undefeated record so far. We'll go there a week from tonight. But we go to Benedictine. They won tonight at Graceland, so they're chasing the Vikings. There'll be a big crowd in Atchison on Saturday, and hopefully we can pull off a couple of wins there, Joe. But it was a fun night, no question about it.
Fun night, and the Vikings have won. They've had this little 3-game home stretch. They won all 3 of these games, their last conference games, or their first 3 conference games since Christmas. So playing very well. Now got to take our show on the road for a couple of games and see if we can keep this same kind of effort, same kind of intensity up on the road games.
Well, come out and join us for wrestling tomorrow night and Saturday, and listen for Joe and I on Stretch Saturday at 2 and 4. Both Viking teams win tonight over Culver. For Joe All, Ken Cuiava, so long from Marshall, and thanks to our live stream crew. See you Saturday.